welcome to Fin Cocktail. So today we're going to try and tackle a dilemma for you.
Right, when you choose mutual funds, there are so many options and then there are options within options. So confusing.
Nothing's ever too confusing with Fin Cocktail around. So we're going to try and clear some things up for you today.
So let's dive in.
When it comes to particular investment options, it is very important for you to consider all the options available out there and understand why you're choosing them. Now this can be kind of tricky because there are so many options available out there. One such dilemma is the growth versus the dividend payout versus the dividend reinvestment option. So let's consider these. Each type of investment option has its own advantages and disadvantages, and which one you pick really depends on your needs as an individual and your circumstances as an investor. So let's consider these so you can make an informed decision yourself.
Up first, the growth plan of a mutual fund. Now, growth plans don't offer any payout to the investor. Profits made on the portfolio simply are put back into the mutual fund scheme. They are great compounders of wealth over time. Growth plans are quite popular actually and widely invested in. How you make money in these plans is by selling the units of the mutual fund scheme at a profit, also called capital gains.
In a dividend plan, on the other hand, the fund declares a dividend out of the profits. Mind you, the dividend can be only declared from the profits and not from the capital. This is applicable both to equity and debt funds. The NAV of the dividend plan reduces to the extent of the dividend paid, which is why you'll always observe that the NAV of a fund which is opted for a dividend plan is always lower than the growth plan. It's important to note that these dividends aren't fixed. The amount and the frequency of the dividend paid is on the discretion of the fund manager. The most common frequencies for a dividend plan are monthly and quarterly dividend payouts.
Last but not least, the dividend reinvestment plan. Now, let me just start by saying that this is not very popular and most mutual fund schemes don't even offer this plan. In the dividend plan, the dividends declared are paid out as cash to the unit holders or you as investors. In the dividend reinvestment plan, however, the mutual fund buys units to the extent of the dividend declared at the post-dividend NAV and then just credits it to the unit holders or you as investors. So it's kind of like ESOPs. You're paid a bonus but in the same units of the mutual fund you're already holding. So if you actually want to make the payout or make the profit, you have to sell the units of the mutual fund itself, just like you would in a growth plan.
So how do you pick between these three plans? Here are some things you can consider. Number one, what is your main requirement? Is it long-term wealth creation or is it short-term or interim liquidity needs? If the answer is long-term wealth creation, then you need to opt for the growth plan. You automatically reinvest the money back into the fund and that's when the power of compounding kicks in. पैसे बढ़ेंगे भी, reinvest होकर और भी बढ़ेंगे. Win-win.
On the other hand, if you think that you may require some liquidity from your investments from time to time, you could go for the dividend plan. Now, dividend plans actually take a little bit longer to show the same results as the growth plans, but they start paying it back quicker. So this could offer a little bit of peace of mind to you as a new investor, but the price you pay is lower returns. Also, if you're new to investing and don't have the patience to wait for too long to see returns or actually require the liquidity in the interim, you could go for this option. Acha, wait. So before you make a decision between these plans, there's something else you should consider. That's taxation. But before we get into that, why don't you like, share and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos.
Let us consider equity funds. If you opt for the growth plan in an equity fund, then short-term capital gains are taxed at 15% for any units held under 1 year. Long-term capital gains, on the other hand, are taxed at 10% for any units held over 1 year. Keep in mind that this is without indexation and to the extent that your long-term capital gains exceed rupees 1 lakh in any fiscal year.
Now, in case of debt mutual funds, if you opt for the growth plan, the short-term capital gains, in this case considered under 3 years, are taxed at the investor's applicable income tax slab rate. But long-term capital gains, on the other hand, which is units held over 3 years in this case, are taxed at 20% after indexation, which essentially means it takes inflation into account.
In the case of the dividend option in mutual funds, dividends used to be tax-free in the hands of the investor up until 31st March 2020, but would attract a dividend distribution tax of 10%. However, the Finance Act of 2020 changed the method of dividend taxation. Dividend distribution tax was withdrawn. All dividends received on or after the 1st of April 2020 are taxable as per the investor's applicable income tax rate. This kind of makes the growth option better as compared to the dividend option. This makes growth plans more attractive in terms of tax management.
So there you have it. Different options available to you under different mutual funds. But wait, the most common question we get asked isn't about growth versus dividend. It's about direct versus regular. Ab ye kya hai? More options. Okay. Let us clear this confusion as well. Every mutual fund scheme comes in two versions, the direct plan and the regular plan. The only difference between them is that regular mutual fund plans involve a distribution commission, whereas the direct mutual fund plans don't.
The first thing to note here is the expense ratio. This is an annual maintenance charge levied by the mutual fund to finance its expenses such as operating expenses, management fees, advertising costs, etc. This tends to be higher in a regular plan. So you end up paying a higher expense ratio under the regular plan, but it also has an impact on your returns. Now, if you are an individual investor with a small or a mid-sized portfolio that is easy for you to manage, you can consider going for the direct plan. But if you are an HNI with a sizable portfolio and it becomes really difficult for you to keep a track of your investments, then it may be wiser to go through a broker or a distributor who can manage the portfolio for you and will charge a commission for his services. This commission gets paid to the distributor from the mutual fund house itself.
So here we are. These are all the options available to you under all mutual fund schemes. But the final decision, always yours. Our job is only to help you understand the difference between all of these. You have to figure out which one suits you best. तो आप convince हो गए हैं या हम और बोले?